doesn't have to do
We
this
have
for
about
60
3 minutes of tape left, so we can either start, clean this out or start all over.
Why don't we start with the new tape?
Make up with the people, the Cajuns in South Louisiana and the rednecks in North Louisiana, and it's a mixture and a combination. I think that we've had some colorful people in politics that have made good subjects for the media down through the years, and I think that if you really scaled it back, our politics wouldn't be much different than anybody else's.
I think so. What about the voters themselves? I mean, do people look for different things in leaders here? Are they more tolerant in Louisiana?
Well, I suppose we are more tolerant. We accepted a lot of things that wouldn't be accepted more than likely in other states. But again, I think that goes back to the people themselves. People are just more tolerant people, more fun-loving.
Do they expect that in their politicians? Do they get
I think
bored?
so. I don't think to this point that we have been ready to be serious and businesslike with our approach to government and to political campaigns. Every time we've had a serious governor like, or a business-type government like Sam Jones or Bob Kennan, Dave Treen, they served one term and they're gone, never to come back.
People just get bored of them?
I suppose you could say that. Didn't capture the imagination.
It seems like we have more elections down here than any place else in the country, that we vote for more offices that aren't really elective in other places. You find that to be the case here?
Well, yes, that's true. We have, our elections are not well coordinated. They needs to be brought together more, but, and we do. We elect constables and justice of the peace and a lot of minor offices that don't exist in other states.
Describe Edwin Edwards to us.
Describe Edwin Edwards? Well, I think that Edwards is a populist, much as Earl Long was. I think he's more polished and smoother, and he came along in the day and time of television. Earl Long didn't come along in the day and time of television, but his political philosophy is basically the same, but most of our politicians have shared that same philosophy.
How do you think he's going to do in this election?
I don't count him out. I think that there are a lot of people will vote for him, will not admit voting for him. I think a lot of people are being silent. There's a great deal of and very strong anti-Edwards sentiment here. I think there's more of stronger feelings against Edwards. Reminds me of the way things were back in the early '60s, at the end of Earl Long's career, when he became sick, and there was a strong feeling in the state to get him out, even though he couldn't run for re-election legally. Then we came back with the integration segregation fight, and the state was in upheaval. Louisiana kind of reminds me today like it was then.
What makes North Louisiana politics different than the politics in the South and New Orleans?
Well, because this is a Protestant area.
Excuse me, could you say North Louisiana is, can you sort of incorporate his question into your answer?
I didn't understand him.
Incorporate the question into the answer. So instead of saying this is a North Louisiana is?
You know, if he asks you a question, how is politics in North Louisiana? So then your response would be, well, politics in North Louisiana.
I see. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think that North Louisiana is more conservative. And North Louisiana certainly is more Protestant. I don't think that North Louisiana people are as liberal socially as the people are in South Louisiana. It varies from degree to degree. Along the river here, from Vidalia to the Arkansas line, it's a more tolerant, more liberal atmosphere than just 45 miles over in the valley between the Mississippi River and the Ouachita. The Monroe area is far more conservative than this area here.
Can you give us examples of from around here, or things in your experience of just the color of Louisiana politics?
Well, let's cut that. Let's stop on
Go ahead,
that
think
one.
about it for a second. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you know.
Main strength here has always been the blacks. This area never has really had a feeling toward Edwards or connection with Edwards.
Why has Edwin always been so strong with blacks in Louisiana, do you think?
Well, because he's helped them. He's gone out of his way to help them.
Can you start that over again by saying Edwin's gone out of his way to help blacks, and that's why they're...
Okay. Well, I think that Edwards has gone out of his way to help the blacks, and I think that's why he's been strong with them.
Is there any kind of a feeling that they have about him along those ways, or is it strictly policy?
Well, I think they relate to him. He's almost like a preacher, and black people are very religious. They're very strong on their churches, and they follow their church leaders, and Edward speaks their language.
What are local politics like in the rural parishes?
Well, very personal. I don't think people look at qualification as much as they do personalities, families. Families get together to support one candidate or oppose another. It's a very personal thing, and it never stops from one election to the other.
It sometimes seems that there's just one election after another and they're never stopping in Louisiana?
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Do you remember Earl Long?
Oh, yeah.
What was it like when Earl Long campaigned?
Well, Earl Long, again, that was before television. It was the old stump speaking was the manner in which they got out to reach the people. Earl Long was very loud, had a very loud voice, and he was colorful. He was entertaining, and he was very critical of the people he ran against. He made fun of them. He made his audience hate something. He just was a master on the stump.
Can you give us an example? Anything come to mind when he came through and campaigned and the kind of stuff that he would say?
Now let's see, Hale Boggs. Well, I can remember him talking about Harold McSween in a race for Congress. I think he said McSween had diabetes. Said McSween was raised with a silver spoon in his mouth that you couldn't get out with a crowbar. Said that McSween talked about his parents like you'd talk to a bootblack. And incidentally, he didn't call him McSween, he called him McSwain. Back in the days when Catholicism was an issue in North Louisiana, and Hale Boggs was running for governor, I can remember him referring to Hale Boggs' brother as being a Catholic priest. He never said anything about Hale Boggs that I remember. I was present one time in central Louisiana in Grant Parish, and Shep Morrison was there running for governor, and Earl Long was there, and it was strictly an Earl Long audience, and Earl Long said some very mean things about Morrison I thought was humiliated Morrison very much. In fact, I don't see how Morrison could take it.
Didn't he used to mispronounce Morrison's name?
Well, they called him Della Soups.
Do you think, let me ask one more question. Do you think Edwin is the logical heir to the long tradition, or is there a long tradition in Louisiana politics?
No, I don't think he is. I think that Russell Long was the natural heir to Huey and Earl. And I think that most people misgauged Russell Long when he was considering running for governor. I think if he had gotten more encouragement from people in the state who were willing to step up for him, that Russell Long would have run, and I don't think Edwards would have.
Give me one one more sentence. Just say Louisiana politics is in one sentence and describe it.
Oh, good God. Man, that's tough. I think Louisiana politics, in a lot of ways, has been immature because the people have not changed, and I think that once the people change, we'll be more mature.